Hey y'all. Hey. Um we are back for another review for SISTAS on BET. We are on season 2, episode 8. Let's just jump right into it. So we are in the wake of Cowboy running into the bartender dude standing butt naked there, trying to have a conversation with him. Danny's trying to get bartender dude to leave and tell him to get his shit and go. And Preston, aka Cowboy, is like, nah, I'm good. He stay, I'll leave. Don't worry about it. No thing. I'm about to go. So he storms out, and then she still tells the bartender, like, I still need you to get out of my house. And he asks her, like, where am I supposed to go? And then it's like, child, go to hell. Wherever you want to go, it's not my business. It's not my problem. So he leaves. As he leaves, Zach is walking in, and he's like, ooh, like, you got all the dudes leaving your apartment. Like, what's going on? What you doing? So yeah, she's nervous, and she wants everybody, basically all men, to get out of her vicinity, get out of her face at this particular moment in time. Which is understandable since your spot has been blown up, but yeah. Zach is like, I'll leave, but I'm here to take you to work because I have a car now. And she's wondering, like, where the hell does Zach get a car from? And, she's like, I'm getting out of here because I got illegal substances on me, and I'm not going to jail with you. And she tells him, like, calm down. Zach tells Danny, like, calm down, girl. We not going to jail. I have a truck. It's for the construction company that I'm working for. Blah blah blah. Whoop de whoop. And then while he's explaining that to him, Fatima calls, and she's like, well, who is this? And blah 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 blah. You know how Danny is, just doing a whole lot. And going back a little bit, Danny tells Zach, like, okay, since you got a job, since you're working on the side and you got money coming in, I'm gonna need some compensation for all the times you done stayed at my house and ate my food and blah 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 blah. And he's like, okay, girl, whatever you say. Fatima calls, and Danny's trying to put on the show, like, who is this calling? I'm pregnant by him, but just being real ignorant. And Fatima's like, it's gonna take a whole lot more to make me upset. Hey friend, hey work friend, bye work friend, have a good day. Basically. So Fatima is unmoved by the antics that is Danny. So yeah, she ain't moved, she's not concerned, and we're just proceeding on to work. Alright, Annie gets to her office. And Fatima and Hayden, which is the black lawyer guy that's been helping her, is been trying to call her, but she's been so busy. And Fatima tells her, hey, the partner in the firm is already in there, and Hayden's already in there. Follow his lead. Basically, just he got it. He got it lined up. Just be quiet, listen, and follow the directions. Basically. So Andy goes into the meeting, and the partner apologizes for Bellamy, saying he didn't know anything about it, and tells her that she should have come to him first. And she rebuttals with, I couldn't have come to you first because your policy is, or what you got, the culture of this place of employment is, go up the chain, make sure things go through who they need to go through before they come to you. So she would have never been able to get through Bellamy in order to go through his supervisor. And that's the thing with supervisors. Just a little side note. Y'all always want people to go up the chain, even the military. Y'all want people to go up the chain, but when the next person above you in the chain is the problem, it's hard to get around that. For y'all to have such open door policies, and then when it's time to open the door, it's, did you work it out with your supervisor first? Blah, blah, blah. It's a whole lot of pushback. So I understand that she would have never been able to come to you comfortably, Mr. Supervisor, sir, partner. But whatever, that's water under the bridge. But I understand that she couldn't have gone to him, even though it sounds nice to say in later on in life. It sounds good after the fact that you can say, oh, well, you should have come to me first. But technically she couldn't have. But all right, whatever you say. All right, so he goes on to apologize and thinks he should have come to him first. And he offers her a cold, hard $1 million settlement for her troubles. Offers her $1 million for everything that she had to go through, basically for her pain and suffering, everything that she's been tied into as it comes to Gary. I guess the evidence did show that Bellamy and everybody were on this setup situation. Cool. $1 million. $1 million is pretty good. You know, she's a lawyer, but she ain't making that much money. All of her stuff was put on hold with the investigation. But for me, we would have had to negotiate. Now, Andy did use her good common sense, and she did negotiate with him. But if you're offering me $1 million, I'm worth more. Typically, what you're offered, you can squeeze a little more out of them. So he offers her $1 million to walk away scot-free, no problems. Well, she counters with 1.7. I'll take 1.7. Wait. She pushes back on the 1 million, and he says, okay, I'll give you 1.7 without even getting into negotiation. So again, that's proving my point. You offer me 1, and then when I didn't immediately take the 1, you come back and say, oh, no, I'll give you 1.7. Okay, well, I'm going to push for 2, which is exactly what Andy did. Andy was like, okay, well, I'll give you 2. Well, I want 2 and I want my job back. And not only do I want my job back, but I need a raise and a promotion for Fatima. Exactly. Fatima and Hayden, outside of your friend girl group, Fatima and Hayden have kind of gone to bat for you. So, you know, Hayden's already probably at his plateau in that company. He can't be anything other than who he is. But Fatima, yes, she needs to come out of that receptionist role. She needs more money. She needs more recognition. She needs more respect. So, yes, absolutely. Fatima, give Fatima for a raise and a promotion. So, where they settle at is 1.2. He's going to get his friend at the FBI to release her apartment and to release her savings and everything that she asked for. So 1.2 million, her apartment, her savings, and what she asked for Fatima. Cool. But for you to offer me 1 and I ask you 2 and we settle at 1.2, I normally that would not make sense, because as negotiations go, I've done a couple negotiations, several in my day, and we meet at some sort of halfway point. Not really halfway as far as dollars and cents, but halfway as far as, okay, 1.2. I started 1, you started 2. Most people just say, okay, 1.5, we meet in the middle. But what's happening is she's gained more by way of, I got my 1.2. I don't have to look for a new place to stay. She had 700 and something thousand in her savings, if I'm not mistaken. Whatever Gary gave to her in cash, she still has that. And she's branded herself loyal by way of Fatima. So she always has an ally in that aspect. So not only did she walk away better, she made it better for Fatima. So 1.2, I can live with that. Just considering the whole package of everything that came with it, independent of the $1.2 million. Wonderful. All right. So, you know, and when she comes out of the office, Fatima is as supportive as she's been in the whole thing, helping her girls celebrate her win. All right, moving on. Karen is at her shop, and this lady, I ain't got her name, she sits in the chair. She comes as a recommendation, and Karen is there just to cussing and talking real nasty. I'm like, girl, what you did to get that big ring, da 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 da. And I think Pam's her name. The nosy receptionist tells her, you know, chill out. This is the first lady of a church, and whatever. So Karen's like, oh crap, I done said too much. I done did way too much. She apologizes, and the lady tells Karen, you know, be yourself. I'm not one of those preachers that's uptight, that's not aware of what's going on in the world. So it's all right. So moving on. Sabrina is at work, and she notices that Mars notices that she's been sulking all day, and she really wants to talk to him about Calvin, but she doesn't want it to get back to Calvin. Child, it's Maurice. It's liable to get back, but if you won't do it. And then she asks Maurice if he's ever seen Calvin doing drugs, and, you know, how she got the information through the bartender and through Danny. And he goes, well, hell, if you don't want to get out, Danny sure as hell wasn't a good person to get the information either, but whatever, girl, you know, I guess I ain't gonna say nothing. And Maurice, you know, doesn't really believe that Calvin does crystal meth either. He's not willing to believe it. So at this point, I don't know who lying. We'll figure it out. And Sabrina asks him, you know, wait a minute, how did you get to know Calvin so well, you know, in order to speak up for his character? And he slips out that him and Calvin are going to be roommates, by way of Maurice saying, you know, well, if we're going to be roommates, we need to know a little bit about each other, don't you think? And Sabrina's like, wait a minute, y'all about to be roommates? So now that's a whole nother wrench in the Calvin and Sabrina Maurice saga. And yeah, Maurice tells him, I don't know. I don't believe it. You just need to talk to him. That's the only way you're going to get your answer, girl. Talk to him. It's going to be all right. But, all right. So, Andy is back at the office. She's talking to Fatima. And she tells her, she becomes a little more personable in this moment, and tells Fatima, yeah, girl, you my girl. You done help me out, which is cool. Get it. But now that you've gotten out of the situation, things are looking on the up and up now. I'm your girl. I'm your friend. But in the wake of Fatima kind of helping you out, you didn't have a whole sister girl attitude about the situation, in my opinion. But okay. And so Fatima, her face lights up, and she decided to be a part of the girl group. And because she's been looking at all this time, and I guess it's due at this point, she invites Fatima out with the girls, and Fatima's like, oh well, I have a date, so my bad. And she tells her, bring your date. Oh hell. So shit's about to not be good for long. Why? Because Fatima's date is Zach. And Karen is one of Andy's good girlfriends. So Zach and Karen are going to be in the same room by way of him being Fatima's date. But Karen and Zach are going to be in the same room by way of him being Fatima's date. That's not going to go good. I can just tell you now, so just get ready for that to happen tomorrow, because today's Tuesday and I'm late again. Don't worry about it. It was the Thanksgiving turkey. I ain't had time to keep up with my videos. But yeah, so that's gonna be a shit show, so we'll just stick around for that. Karen finishes up the lady's hair and she leaves. And Karen is just going on this rant about, how she don't think she's gonna go because mega churches are just they're really not even saving no souls. They just stealing poor people's money and selling them a whole bunch of dreams and whatnot. And in the midst of this rant, the first lady walks back in and she says, oh, I forgot my phone. And she leaves again, and Karen is talking to the receptionist like, hey, you think she heard me? Blah, 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 blah. And then the preacher lady comes back and she's like, Karen, can I talk to you outside? And Karen's like, oh, crap. She's about to damn my soul to hell, which, I mean, she's a human being. She don't really have a physical location to put you, but we'll go with it. And she tells Karen, I heard what you said back there. I'm not upset about it. Just tell me how you really feel. Tell what you think. And Karen gives her the whole spiel as well. And she invites Karen down to the church once more to say, come see it for yourself. I know you see my car and it's a nice car. Well, actually, the reason that we have nice things, we don't take money from the collection plate. The money that we take from the collection plate goes to pay our staff, and that's it. Well, in actuality, the lady that got her hair done is is a stockbroker or an investor banker, something along those lines. And her husband is a retired baseball player. Makes sense, but this is the first introduction, so Karen would have never known that information. But she made an assumption, as we all do. When we see people in those kind of positions driving out these great cars and going on these wonderful vacations, Mr. John Gray, we assume that it's, you're taking from people with no hope and little funds and just making this grand life for yourself. So I can understand the assumption. But she tells Karen, they have hedge funds and they've saved their money and they're literally just doing the work of the Lord. And that's it. Just come on down to the church and learn for yourself. So we'll see if Karen ever goes to the church. We'll see. It might explode with her mean self. Anyway, Danny is at work and she's calling Cowboy over and over and over and over. He ain't answering. He ain't with it. Her and Zach get into this discussion about the dynamics of men and women and how women should be more willing to help and help fix these men and blah, blah, blah. And I don't have time to get into it. I don't feel like discussing it. Child, it didn't add nothing to the meat and potatoes of the episode. So we walked away still feeling the same way when we came here. All right, moving on. Maurice, Kobe, and Sabrina are at the job. They closed up for the day, and Maurice is still salty about Kobe being there and still thinks that he's out to get his job. Okay, Maurice, he probably isn't out to come get your job, but maybe he is because he gets the job done without issue, without the shenanigans, without the drama, and much faster. I'm assuming what Maurice is staying to get done in the wee hours of the night and the morning, Kobe has already gotten done and he's gone by the time they get to close for the business day. So yeah, your job might be in jeopardy because you play all goddamn day. So maybe, channel some of that energy into your job. But yeah, so that's that on that. Andy is sitting in her new office talking to Hayden, thanking him for his help, and he tells her, her apartment has also been released so she can go home, but that she needs to be careful. She needs to be careful. Why? Because, it was proven that Morris and Jeff and everybody was a setup, which is why her stuff was released, which is why the law firm wants to make a settlement, but which also entails Gary being bailed out of jail. He's bonded out until things are, completely solidified through the courts or however that goes. And Hayden lets Andy know that an officer who was a friend of his also overheard Gary talking about some threatening type stuff, and she needs to be worried because he's coming to get his money. He ain't done with her just yet, so it is what it is. Well, we know Andy. She has these moments of clarity, but she falls back into these blonde-headed tendencies, and I'm okay. I don't need any help. I don't need to heed any warnings. I'm going out with my friends to celebrate all the good news, and I don't want that on my mind the whole time. Girl, you about to be kidnapped. I just cannot. Girl, he's trying to warn you. He's trying to tell you Gary's still mad. The last time you saw Gary, he was mad. Everybody that's seen Gary since y'all broke it off had seen him in a pissed off state of mind. So you need to pay attention. She don't want to heed the warnings yet again. It will cost her, as it has in the past. All right. So, Zach is at the job site. Fatima stops by. They flirt, and she'll see him later. She don't want them to know that they're talking at the job site. Blah, blah, blah. Don't care. All right. So, Andy is in the parking garage, fumbling through her pocketbook for her purse, which, girl, safety 101. Already have your keys out before you get ready to go to your car. When I'm getting out of my car, I already got my house keys out. I already got them out. Sometimes they may even be between my fingers at nighttime in case I got to punch somebody with the key and they don't kill me. But she's fumbling through her purse, looking for her car keys, and out of the shadows pops Gary. And he don't want to talk about nothing but her getting in this car and talking to him, and that's it. So now she is being kidnapped and forced to talk out the situation with Gary, and that ends the scene. All right, so that is it for season 2, episode 8 of Sistas on BET. Episode 9 is tonight, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully Andy doesn't get kidnapped. You know what? Now that I'm sitting here thinking, Andy's always forced into a situation in a car. Because remember when Morris was low-key about to rape her in the car when he was high off of something early on when he took her on a date, and now we got Zach forcing her to a car. Girl, get a bike. That's all I want to say on that. That was interesting. So, let me know what you think about the episode in the comments, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.